dot w at artstorefronts with an s.com. So kelly.w at artstorefronts.com. My direct phone number is 512-859-7563. Again, 512-859-7563. So I look forward to hearing from you all. We've got some really great incentives going on right now. As you know, it's the fourth quarter of the year, the biggest art selling time of the year. And so we've got some really great incentives going on. You probably have seen an email or two or three about the website setup that we're doing. It's a really great deal. It's usually quite a bit extra, but we are doing that right now with your membership for free. So that is that. I've had a few more people join, so I will give my contact information at the end as well. And I probably will put it in the chat as well. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Ally, and welcome, Ally.
Why, thank you. Hey, everyone. I appreciate you all joining tonight. I am an artist. I have actually been with Art Storefronts for about 4.5 years now. And just to kind of give you some background on me, I was an artist for years before joining Art Storefronts, and kind of dabbled in it, never really made a good living on it, was always in and out of other part-time jobs. And I joined Art Storefronts when I was a single mom with a 6-month-old baby. And it felt like a huge risk, but it really paid off. I initially felt like just all the amazing features of the website was what I was buying in for. But as it turns out, all the expanse of marketing training and knowledge that they provide it's paid off so much, just exponentially. After joining Art Storefronts, I launched a website called Bunny Pigs. I created a whole business around a pet portrait business. For a long time, did digital pet portraits, focused on that. I've recently started to pivot a little bit. I'm still doing the pet portraits, but a lot less now, and do oil painting now, which is a completely different ballgame. But have just launched my second websites with Art Storefronts, and I'm happy to. You'll hear a 4-year-old over here. She's in the background, so she might pop in every now and then. But yeah, I'm happy to just answer any questions you guys have about what my experience has been like. As far as like really technical questions, again, I would defer you to someone like Kelly to maybe just do an in-depth demo for you so you can see all the features yourself. But yeah, happy to take any questions and just chat with you guys.
And I guess I should have said this in the beginning. If you do have a question and your camera is on, if you want to just raise your hand and then I'll call on you. If your camera is not on, that's okay. You can just go to the menu bar there on the Zoom, and you would go under where it says reactions, and there's a little smiley face emoji. And if you click on that, it will give you an option to raise your hand, and then I'll see in your box that you have your hand raised. So either way, but whoever wants to go first, we're ready for some questions. Okay, Frank, got your hand up. Let me go ahead and if you would unmute. There you go.
Oh, hey, Ally.
Hey, Frank.
I'd like to maybe check out your website too. Maybe if you could like give the link and stuff. And I mean, I've seen a lot of the Art Storefronts websites. And I guess my question is, do you sell most of the stuff like going live and selling live like they do on Whatnot and Facebook? Because I'm kind of like, I can do that, but like it's a time thing and it's kind of exhausting and I'm not super into it. Like I'd rather have like the passive income, but I don't know. I guess that's the only real way to sell the bigger pieces, right? Like, do you ever sell the bigger pieces if they're just sitting on your website, or is it mostly the live sales?
So that's a good question. The really cool thing about Art Storefronts is that the marketing tools can apply to a lot of different, like there's a lot of different strategies and approaches you can take, and it suits a lot of different types of artwork. So I literally just a week ago launched my new website. So I can't really speak to the sales on original old paintings just yet because it simply hasn't been enough time, like a single week. But with the previous business that I've been running for the past 4 years, the pet portrait business, everything on that end is it's all custom artwork. So I actually don't sell original pieces on the website. So I don't do those live showings, like kind of like what you mentioned. What it is customers can go on my art storefront site and they can order a custom pet portrait right there on the site. I complete the portrait. Usually I tell them to allow me about 4 to 6 weeks typically. And then what's really cool too is that I can upload that portrait because again, it's a digital image. They always get the high resolution file from me, but I can also upload that file to my art storefront site and they can go on and buy, there's like a private customer gallery where they can go on and buy prints or even buy merchandise with their pet on it anytime they want. But so as far as like the actual, those type of shows, that's not quite suitable to my type of artwork. And even though I know those work really well for other artists, I heavily rely on social media marketing to drive people to my website, to get newsletter signups. And I will go live. Like I still believe in the importance of going live and kind of letting your audience see you and feel connected with you. But I don't do those type of shows, no.
Right. So I see it's really more, that sounds like it's more commission based. And the new stuff you're doing is what? You're just going to do the paintings that you want to do and then try to sell them?
Yeah, the new stuff is going to be much more what I want to do. And with that, yeah, I will be actually diving in, refreshing myself on all the playbooks about how to do the live art shows. So I'll be doing those, yes. But I just haven't yet, so I can't.
I guess what did the marketing like consist of? Is it just basically Facebook and Google advertising?
It's so much more than that, yeah. And you know, I can't give away too much of the secrets of art storefronts, but they have these incredible what they call playbooks, which is so for any type of endeavor you're about to embark on, whether you're about to launch your website, there's a playbook for that. If you're about to, you know, go to an art fair or do an, you know, online live gallery showing, live art show, there's playbooks for just about everything, every different type of marketing approach you would want to take. But no, it's a lot more than advertising. I don't pay for advertising at all on Google or Facebook.
Right. Okay.
Or on any platform actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Thanks. I mean, you can let other people go. I mean, I found your new Instagram site. What is your pet website?
Yeah, it's I'll drop my websites in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, sure.
I'll put both of them in there. But thanks so much for the questions.
Thanks, Frank. Okay, Cynthia, if you will unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. I too am a pet portrait artist, just starting out. I currently just have my own website through Wix, and I'm in Florida, so I was fortunate enough to be accepted to Mardi Gras as one of the 8 up and coming artists at the festival. So I didn't sell anything because I also do wildlife painting as well. But I got everybody's, email that came in, and I got actually 2 commissions that paid for, what I broke even basically. But being that it's a commission, being that, it's a commission business, pet portraits. I just have like a login sheet when people come to log in and then their email. And then I send out a general email after each, pet that I do. Financially right now, it's very difficult for me. And I know there's a lot of great promotions going on now that you guys have. When do you said you took a risk by doing it. As a commission piece, like, do you get a lot of people interested, or I can't afford it right now, but it's something that I am looking, into doing.
Yeah.
But for a commission-based thing, how does it work for you? I mean, do you get a
So
lot of traffic?
I do, yes. About 8 months after I started with Art Storefronts, I was getting so much commission orders that I actually had to close down orders on my website, like completely close them. And I started there for a long time. I was doing what I call booking days, where I would just open up orders, have a booking day, say, hey, orders are going to be open at this day at this time. There's only going to be, say, 20 spots available. I won't reopen orders for the next 2 months. And I would have all those 20 spots sell out within 15 minutes at times.
Wow. And that took 8 months?
It was about 8 months. Yeah. I was about 4 months into Art Storefronts when I decided to focus on the pet portrait niche. Before that, I was putting out a lot of different artwork, trying to hone in on what exactly I wanted my niche to be.
Yeah.
So, but
Wow.
yeah, it went really well. And I attribute a lot of it to their marketing, all the tactics and everything that I learned from them.
Wow. Wow. That's because that's just it. It's by word of mouth. Or if I can get a like for Peggy Adams, if I can get if they're it's it's hard to be able to get people,
Yeah.
if I enter into exhibits and I've been published 3 times, but they're not with my pet portraits, with my wildlife.
Okay. Okay.
So I've had some exhibits, and that's when I get people's emails, but
Yeah.
it's hit or miss without the right marketing. And it
Yeah.
sounds like, it took a while to get the ball going, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was successful.
It was. Yeah. I always tell people, like, don't expect it to be some magic pill that's just going to change everything overnight. There's a
Yeah.
lot to it. There's a lot of information, and it's, at first you're going to feel like you're drinking from the fire hose because you're going to, you sign up, you get the membership, and then you just realize this door has opened and there's so much to take in. But you can go at your own pace and you can learn everything. Art Storefronts also has, extras like services where they'll actually do the email marketing or the social media marketing for you. That's something that
Oh,
they can always
okay.
take on if you wanted to go that direction. I do mine myself, but yeah, for people who are short on time or just really nervous about jumping into that, there's that option as well.
Okay, that's great to know. Thank you.
Yeah. But thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Cynthia. All right, who's next? Any hands raised? I don't see any hands. I know y'all have questions. All right, Chris. All right. There we go. Hey, Chris.
Make sure this thing's on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, that's great. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me in. I apologize for running late. I had planned on getting here sooner, but life is what it is. My question is I'm actually an intern at a photography studio that I'm doing research for.
I'm sorry.
And this is actually part of my degree for art management when it comes to studio works behind the scenes as a business. And then I myself, I'm also a photographer as well. Unfortunately, my business actually was closed in 2020 due to COVID. I had just lost too much. I couldn't afford to operate anymore. Thankfully, it was just myself and my wife, and I could actually go through other means. But I mean, like everybody else here, photography is my passion, what I love to do. So it was only forthright that I actually do this internship as part of my college degree from art management. My question and I don't know. I know I've always heard that art or store art fronts is very unique in the fact that it was actually specifically made for doing online e-commerce versus having like a gallery site, as an example, say Shoot Group. That was made more toward gallery sites just for the individual private persons or individual, people that were wanting their photos done. Because I'm also looking at this as well as far as like a fine art type of um, e-commerce site, because while I'm interested in myself, but my actual intern supervisor is actually interested in this too. And we're trying to figure out, he's kind of curious or concerned about what his return on investment would be for doing, like, say, the bigger package, because he is a very busy person, doesn't have a lot of time to do his own marketing, like what you were saying. And he would need a different site, because where he's at now, he's just not getting the traffic either from the web or from the emailing list or any type of contacts. He's just not getting the business that he knows he can get. I mean, he's certified, he's been accredited, he's a master photographer, he's taught at several different universities. I'm aspiring to be that way. So how does Art Storefront do something like for the person like him or even myself?
Okay. Sorry, I'm apologize. I'm hard of hearing, and it's like there were points where you were cutting out there. So you're asking how it does for fine art photography, but then also for the more like portrait session type of photography. Did I hear you right?
You did. I apologize. My TV's up a little bit loud. Sorry about that. I'll turn that down for a second. I didn't realize it was that loud. No, it is. The person I'm interning for is a fine art photographer. He does landscapes and whatnot. I myself am a portrait photographer, more delving into the indigenous and preservation. He doesn't have a lot of time to do his own marketing, build a site, this, that, whatever. And then I myself am a student, so I don't have a lot of time because of my studies to kind of do the same thing. And like him, I'm curious on what my return on investment would be for doing something like this versus trying to, well, wing it on my own, as it were.
Right. You know, and Kelly may be able to answer this a bit better, but it's going to kind of depend on what you put. So if you guys wanted to do all the marketing and everything yourself, like, again, that's going to depend on what you put into it. You get out of it what you put into it. And as far as, you know, kind of expect a return on investment for the services that Art Storefronts offers to be able, where they would actually do the marketing components for you. Kelly, you could probably better answer that than I could, since I haven't used those services before. But I can tell you that the website is functional for any type of photography. You know, I've known photographers through Art Storefronts who they sell these fine art prints, they sell limited editions, but then they also have a section of their website that is where people can go and book a portrait session. So there's ways to set it up for either style of business. And you could even set up the same website to suit both types of business. Like there's a lot of features in there that allow you to sell the way you need to sell. Does that make sense? Yeah, Kelly, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. As far as you know, you're going to get out of it what you put into it, but Art Storefronts makes it so much easier because you don't have to figure out what is it that I need to be doing. We're literally spelling it out for you, and if you will just follow the calendar, follow the plan. You know, the tasks that we ask you to do. They take less than 30 minutes a day, and it's do what you can. But like Ali said, the more you put into it, the more you can get out of it. You just don't have to wake up and think, what am I going to do today to get my art in front of people? You know, you just wake up, look at your email. We're going to tell you what to do. Look at your calendar. We're going to tell you what to do. If you have questions, we're there for you. But if it's something that you just, you just want to take photos, or you just want to pick up the paintbrush and paint, or what have you, we do have services where we'll take care of it for you. A lot of different options, just depending on what your needs are, what your goals are, what your time is like. And also, as far as the site goes with the portraits too, you can password protect as well. So that's a feature that you can turn on as well if you have, if you want to have some clients be able to look at their own portraits or what have you. Does that help you, Chris?
Yes, it does, actually. I do appreciate that.
Okay.
I guess the last part I would have is when it comes to the marketing, if say he only has 30 to 40 customers that he has dealt with regularly, or say I for that matter too, is there a cold generation list that can be done, or is there a way to market to a different group of people?
Yeah, that's everything. I actually had an email list of 0 when I started with Art Storefronts, and now I have over 3,000 for my pet portrait business. And so that's what they teach you to do, is they teach you and give you the tools to go out there and get new prospects, get new clients, and reach that audience. Yeah, can I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am, it did. Thank you.
Okay. And Chris, I think that you had came in after I gave my contact information. It is in my or in the chat. And I'll also give it again at the end. So if you have some one-off questions or would like to see a demo, just reach out to me and I'll be happy to do that with you. All right, so let's see. I see Frank has a question. Let's see.
Hey, Ally.
Hey.
0 to 30,000, that's quite a lot. Could you tell us like how long it took you to get that?
0 to 3,000.
Oh, 3,000, sorry.
Yes, yeah, probably not 30,000. No.
3,000 great. Yeah, how long did that take to accumulate?
I'd say that was somewhere probably around the 2.5, 3 year mark.
Okay, so maybe 1,000 a year. Was that all done online, or was it like online shows, conventions, like a little bit of everything?
For me, everything was online. I didn't do anything in person.
Of the 3,000, could you tell us like how many of those people are actual buying clients?
I don't have those statistics right now. I've never had that asked before.
Have you done
Curious to go.
3,000? Have you done 3,000?
No, I have not done 3,000. Yeah, I think my numbers are somewhere in 300 to 400 pet portraits at this point.
See, right, from a 3,000 list, but 3,000 people voluntarily signed up for your list, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. Where was that? Were you like happy with that? Like were you expecting more portraits, or is that a good percentage, I guess?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been overwhelmed with it. Like very happy, was able to do artwork full time, and like I said, like portraits where I was actually getting more portraits than I could handle, than I could keep on my plate. So
Right.
yeah, it's been really nice. And I did get, I think every artist faces burnout at some point. I got burnout from the commission side of things. And so that's why I've kind of slowly taken a step back. I take less portraits now. Like I just keep them more limited now in order to do the other type of artwork.
Were your commissions like, I don't know, 16 by 20 normally? Like, was there a certain size that you could tell us?
It was all digital. It's all digital. So it's all digital portraits.
Right,
I paint them on Procreate.
Yeah, right. And then, like, so if it's all like the same size, is there a price per pet? Like if someone had 1 or 2 pets, like, can you share?
Price ranges. When I first started, prices ranged from $250 up to $500, and now it's more about $500 up to $750.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would say it probably takes you like a day to do one or something like that.
No, all the back and forth with the customer, because I do it, it's all by hand. I'm not doing photo manipulation, which people get kind of confused when you say digital painting versus photo manipulation. No, the work itself could take several days to complete, maybe up to a week just to complete. But the whole process is because I do a lot of back and forth with my customers in order to get the pose and everything that they want. So yeah, it's a couple-week process. And like I said, I generally tell people, allow 4 to 6 weeks just because I do stay backed up with it.
Right. And I noticed you have like prints of all the pets that you do. Do you sell a lot of those prints where people just want like a corgi or a dachshund or whatever?
Honestly, no, I don't get a lot of people. Like generally people want their own dog. So even though, my thinking is like a black lab looks like a black lab, I find that it's people still will rather pay and just have their own dog done, especially with the style that I work in, where it's kind of that embellished caricature style. People really love that because I bring out the personality of each individual pet.
Very cool. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. So Annie, you are up next.
Cool, thanks. I have a question that I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer, either one of you, but so I work kind of in I have like a 3-pronged art business. So I work in different realms. I've got like a corporate installation that is like site specific. And then I've got, original fine art and as well as like some handcraft stuff. But my question has to do with like on art storefronts or through your experience, is there like opportunity to market yourself for things like grants or museum opportunities or things that are kind of more in that like fine art realm that's not direct sales to customers?
I haven't done any of that, Kelly. Kelly may be better able to answer that as far as, are you asking about if there's like kind of like if the trainings and everything help you apply for grants?
Well, I guess if the tools are applicable for that slightly different kind of marketing, like a different audience than like direct to customer sales.
I'm gonna let Kelly answer that question. I've never applied for a grant in my life, so.
So, to be totally honest, I was typing a message to one of our attendees, so I only heard part of it. But you said that did you say that you were applying for grants?
Well, I mean, I've applied for and gotten like some grants and residencies and things like that. But
Okay.
my question has more to do with like the platform as a whole and the marketing material. It seems like it's very kind of direct to customer focus, and I'm just wondering if the marketing tools like the social media stuff and email blasts and the things that you learn, like, are they applicable to these kind of more like
Corporations or
institutional fine art realm?
Totally. So it's everything. I mean, it's the internet. So different ways which can help you to get in front of hotels or, giant office buildings, corporations. One, there's a private Facebook group that our members all have. And that is a question that I do see come through every now and then. Everybody's there that help each other out, give you tips on how to get into those types of places. Also, during the marketing webinars and workshops that we have, that's a great place to ask those questions to get feedback from us and our marketing team and get some tips and tricks on how to go towards that demographic. And then also there's a filter on your website that you can have, which is search art by color. So like a lot of interior decorators and commercial clients who need to match, furniture, paint color, what have you, they use that filter. So that's a really good way to get those customers as well. And then even, you know, just marketing to individuals, that's great because they work at corporations, you know, so you're going to hit them that way as well. But we can definitely help you to strategize with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Ken.
Hello there, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So art storefronts is new to me. In a nutshell, what is offered? What I'm understanding now, it's more of a coaching thing, or explain a little bit about what art storefronts is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give an overview from my perspective. You get an incredible website with all these amazing features that makes you look way more professional than you actually feel. You'll get your website and you're like, huh, is this me? And then on the back end of that is, I mean, it's incredible the amount of knowledge and training that you get when it comes to marketing. You know, so many artists, they don't have a background in marketing and they don't know the first step to take in order to get their work out there. And so it's kind of twofold. It's A, you're going to have this incredible website, but B, you're also going to have all the tools and the knowledge at your disposal in order to drive people to that website. So that's my nutshell. Kelly might have.
So is there a place where your art is exhibited on the site?
Yeah, the site is actually your own. So your website is going to be, it's not a marketplace. It's not like when you go to one of these other art retailers online where someone can see your artwork, but then they can click on, you know, oh, let's go see other landscapes and see every other landscape artist that's there. Your site is just your own, you know, it could be kenturner.com or whatever you have. And when people go there, there's no chance for them to be redirected to the competition, if you will. That's what I love about it. Like, it's your site, but it still has all those really incredible features that those bigger marketplace sites have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And just to kind of add a little bit on that, like she mentioned, marketplace. We're not a marketplace, so it's not like, you know, I like to give the analogy, you're not in a mall where there's thousands of other artists and photographers and they just walk right out of your store and go to the next store and across the hall, and this is your store. And through the marketing calendar and the marketing workshops and the community and the support, we're going to show you how to get that standalone store in front of people so that people are focused on your store and your art. So we're going to provide you with we're going to build your website up for you right now. I don't know if you're on the very beginning of the call, but right now that's something that we're doing for free with your membership, is we're going to build your site out for you. And then also the marketing calendar and all the community support, the workshops, all of that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Wade, you are next.
Oh,
There you
beautiful.
go.
I found the unmute. Yeah, how you
Hey,
from what I've seen about the site, and I spoke to one of your reps while I was driving about like 2 miles, and we talked that long. It's a fine mix of everything. I've been doing this for a while. I'm not as in depth as you have Frank and you have Chris that had some good poignant questions about how the site and the engine runs and about what Ally does. Congratulations. I can't get that many people, but I do have a website, and one of my questions is, I'm a photographer,
Mhm.
and I have pretty much, if I thought about it collectively, is over 4,000 pictures.
Okay.
Now, the question is, how much can my site hold all at one time? And the marketing strategy, I understand because I'm an IT in the background of all of this. So I understand how the engines work. On your site, also with the site that I have, most importantly was, if I'm the photographer, I get a lot of work that's done where they want the work in canvas. Now, is there a third party vendor that can do those things for the client on the other end? With me, I go in, I take pictures. I mean, I do events, I do hotels, I do commercials, I do all of that stuff. The thing with me is that I'm in, I'm out, and I don't really have to see you. You go to the site, you download the pictures, and the pricing of the turnkey is one of my major things. Can I set my price on the website? The vendor, or the client looks at it and says, okay, fine, I have 14 pictures that I like. I can set a price, or does the store give all of us that price to set based on our work? As I said, I do pictures. I'm trying to go around the world and do nice stuff. So it's there. I do food. I do stuff like Frank was talking about, maybe Ken and a couple of guys there. What I really want to know is, once it's there, I know that y'all guys are helping with the marketing strategy of it. With me, I mean, I've been doing it probably, I had the site that I have for about 11, maybe 12 years. And I do, out of the percentage, 14, maybe 1,400 people, I can say that long, I can say 10% of that out of 11 or 12 years. And that's because I'm not pushing my work. So something maybe Ken maybe has to understand that even if we have the site, we do have to push ourselves, business cards, things like that. That helps. Protection of the images that we put out. I picked one company because you can't right click on an image
Mhm.
and you can get a poster size image by like Facebook and people that do things like that. You see the size is huge that they are posting. The protection that I was looking at, the turnkey I mentioned, the third party vendor is more important to me. Is if the client likes it, where do they go?
Yeah. The third party vendor. So, yes, Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it can be set to where a person visiting the site cannot right click on it. You can also have watermarks automatically put on the images when people are viewing them online.
Correct.
But yeah, as far as the vendors go, so there's actually a couple different vendors that Art Storefronts works with. And what happens is that third party, they set it up to where your site gets automatically connected to them. And so when a customer goes on your site and they order a print, it automatically, just like drop shipping, it automatically goes to that order, goes to the vendor. They print it, package it, ship it, and that's all off your plate. Now, you do have control. So it's like you're getting wholesale pricing through the vendor, and then you have control over your markups. You can go in, change those anytime you want. You also have control over what mediums are offered, like whether or not you want canvas, metal prints, acrylic prints, paper prints, the photographic paper. There's tons of options. And so you have the control to set your prices, set your sizes, set, what media types are available. And I think your other question in the beginning was also about like how the space allowed. And I do not know. I'll pass that over to Kelly.
3,500, up to 3,500 images, which we feel is way too many, honestly. You don't want people to get so overwhelmed, but you can have up to 35 images and all different categories, unlimited pages. You can password protect. Yeah.
Like that. That's way too much. Yeah, I would agree.
It is.
That's a lot. As
It
a
is.
customer coming in, you'll just
Uh-huh.
be overwhelmed and have,
Overwhelm.
yeah, what is it? They call it like where a buyer just has too much and they can't make a decision.
Yeah, so they hop off.
Yeah.
They just kind of freeze and yeah. So
Yeah.
The
I want to
resume-
hit real. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Okay. Melissa, talking about the vendors and the prints real quick, I wanted to mention, Melissa had a question in the chat with photos and a third party print shipped to the customer, how a print signed. So this is for open edition prints. You do the drop shipping for open edition prints. If you choose to do limited edition prints, then obviously you would have to have them shipped to you first. You can actually go in on the back end, place that wholesale order, and get the print shipped to you, and then you're responsible then for getting them shipped out to the customers. So some artists don't do the limited edition, some artists only do limited edition, some artists do a mixture of both. So that's really up to you. But as far as open edition prints, then